Hello guys, welcome to Scary Stories. In today's video, we'll hear some of the craziest conspiracy theories on the internet, from the Illuminati to Atlantis and the moon landing. By the way, none of these are my opinions. This video is for entertainment purposes. But let me know in the comments, which one of these conspiracies do you think might be true? And which one just sounds plain crazy?
President Ronald Reagan in 1987 said something that towed the line between deeply prophetic and deeply weird. And he said it at the United Nations.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Ronald Reagan wishing an alien invasion on Earth because of the kumbaya effect it would have on relations among nations. One of the truly weirdest things he ever said in public. Also, it's kind of coming true. That story's next.
These are all drones in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They're passing each other. I mean, how do they not know what's going on?
Stop cursing.
So dozens of drones have been spotted flying over New Jersey. You probably heard about this, including near Trump's Bedminster Golf Club and the Picatinny Arsenal, which is a military research and manufacturing facility. But whose drones are they? And why are they being deployed?
What is going on in New Jersey?
The Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned. We do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that.
What do they have an answer about over at the FBI? Well, obviously, whoever purchased these drones and then decided to direct them above sensitive sites, they're doing so for a reason. But don't worry. Democrat Governor Phil Murphy says, relax.
We don't see any concern for public safety. We had last night 49 sightings. These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark.
No, so he doesn't believe what anyone's saying. Is that supposed to be a joke?
One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here.
Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before.
Wow.
And more than a month since these reports started, the federal government doesn't know what they are either. What's your message to the White House?
My message is come to the Jersey Shore. I know it's wintertime, but come see what we see, and then, maybe they'll have a better appreciation for why our residents are concerned.
The Ocean County Sheriff, that drone unit, they have an industrial grade drone. They put it up. They were tracking one of these drones, Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, to me, if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need the answers, Frank.
Bluebeam Project marks the beginning of total population control. This delusional project aims to stage a large-scale fake extraterrestrial invasion worldwide, with UFOs visible in the sky, and to introduce a fake god to save humanity from this invasion. They would employ highly realistic secret military technology, and they have recently conducted tests. The result is crazy. The ultimate goal would be to eradicate all religions and establish a single unified religion, thereby achieving complete control over the population through fear. This project, combined with the HARP project, would enable the manifestation of a religious figure capable of causing earthquakes, storms, and natural disasters to more strongly modify the belief systems of the masses. Remember in Spider-Man Far From Home when they used holograms to portray Mysterio as a hero? Now recall this phrase. In the movie, we'll tell them the truth, and in reality, we'll lie to them. Tell me your opinion on this, and remember that if aliens ever invade us, don't believe it.
Project Bluebeam. Can you describe what that is?
It's the ability to stage, through very advanced technologies, an alien attack or an alien event. And it's a whole series of them. Now, what most people don't know about since late 50s, early 60s, like the Barney Hill case and all that, those were all human assets abducting innocent people made to look alien. And so that psychological warfare was authorized in 1953, 54. 1954, we mastered gravity control. So we started deploying these assets to begin to condition the public that there's a scary threat from outer space. I mean, look at Hollywood, Alien, Ridley Scott's the movies. If you want to see a script for what's coming fairly soon, look at the movie Independence Day. Okay. It's right out of central casting for this covert group. So what their whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds. Okay. And that's been a 70-year defense.
Okay guys, listen to what Ross Calder has to say. These drones are not only witnessed in New Jersey, they are witnessed all around the world, and the authorities are baffled. They do not know what they are. Okay, let's watch this.
Firstly, good evening, Chris. Look, I have to say I vehemently disagree with any assertion that either the FBI or the Defense Department had any clear idea what this phenomenon is over the east coast of the United States. I'm talking to people in the FBI who are utterly baffled by this phenomenon. They tell me they do not know what these objects are. They're not getting answers. I'm told, for example, that these objects are the size of an SUV, a large SUV, so the argument from the Congressman that these objects are too small to detect is not correct at all. I'm told that there have been attempts to interdict these objects and that there have been the deployment of anti-drone technology. I've just received information in the last few minutes about the PSEG nuclear site at Salem, which is the Hope Creek generating station on a 740-acre site in Salem County, New Jersey. And a person who is privileged enough to have access to the internal messaging about that nuclear station has told me that they tried to deploy an anti-drone technology over multiple drones that were seen over the nuclear site, and that anti-drone technology, which normally works on all drones, completely failed. Moreover, these objects, wherever they are being seen not just on the East Coast, they are being seen all over the world. I'm getting reports from here in Australia, from Japan, Indonesia, China, Russia, Europe.
We told y'all that it was going to happen. You guys called us crazy. Now that it's happening, you guys are falling for it. What am I talking about? Project Bluebeam. That is what we are experiencing right now with all of these things that we're seeing in the sky, okay? You guys are thinking that it's UAPs, UFOs, spaceships, whatever the case may be. No, it is holographic images. It is advanced technology, okay? What is Project Bluebeam? Project Bluebeam is this stage alien invasion, okay, where they create this holographic Christ that comes to save humanity, whatever the case may be, and everybody go into what we call a one world religion, one world. Y'all know where I'm going with this because I can't say too much, right? But here's the thing. Go back and do your research on alien invasions. Go back and do your research on alien abductions. Anytime someone was ever abducted by an alien, they will tell you that the time was manipulated, the energy was manipulated, frequency was manipulated. And the reason why that is because those people, those beings, those entities are not from our realm. They are not from this dimension, okay? And they do not have our frequency. Anytime anyone have ever experienced an alien abduction is because they either raise their frequency to the frequency of these entities, or the entities lower their frequency to the frequency of ours, okay? And right now, with us being in fear, we are in a fear-based frequency. Our vibration and our frequency is too low for us to even experience such a thing, okay? Keep in mind that they use crystal technology, which means these natural, normal, everyday colors that we are seeing is not of their nature. It's not of their realm. It's not of their dimension, okay? Sorry that I'm fumbling over my words, but here's the deal, because I'm trying to make this video quick, right? If that was the case, why were all those other alien invasions debunked, right? Why when all these pilots said they seen things and all that, they were called crazy, they had to shut up, whatever the case may be. Look at how this was rolled out to us, guys. We had this big Congress meeting. Now all of a sudden we're seeing these things pop up and the government is not doing anything about it. Things that make you go, Use your discernment in this season, y'all, because it's about to get real, which is exactly why they are trying to take TikTok away, because when it actually gets real, they don't want us putting two and two together.
So if you've never heard of Project Bluebeam, it's a project between NASA and the United Nations where they would use advanced technologies to project images in the sky around the world. Now, according to the theory, they want to create a second coming of Jesus or whatever deity is popular in that region of the world. They're planning to stage a fake alien invasion, as well as putting different idols in the sky and merging them as one god for the masses to worship. Now, this is all part of the New World Order to abolish all traditional religions and replace them with one world religion, therefore making it easier to control the masses. And here's an example of that technology.
I told you Project Bluebeam isn't just some cute little sci-fi spectacle to keep us entertained. No, the real purpose goes way deeper, and it's darker than anyone imagines. It's about advanced tech, black budget projects, and holograms indistinguishable from real life. Imagine this: the world starts seeing signs in the sky, miraculous events, symbols, even full-on visitations. And it's all so lifelike, so precise, that people can't tell it's fake. They're mesmerized, convinced that they're witnessing something divine or terrifying. And that's when the real agenda kicks in. Because think about it. If you control the sky, you control the narrative. You could make people believe in a new boogeyman, some threat they can't escape from, or rally them all under a new messiah-like figure, someone who claims they have all the answers, who will keep everyone safe as long as everyone falls in line. Some people say the tech has been around for decades, waiting for the right moment, and that moment, it's when the oligarchs have the entire population so desperate, so disoriented, that they'll easily be united in fear or hope, all directed exactly where they want it. And who would question it? The signs are right there in the sky. So the next time you hear about strange lights, figures in the clouds with all the solutions, just remember, someone, somewhere, might be playing the ultimate trick on the masses. And if you don't think they'll go that far, think again. I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
Well, my live was suspended, guys. So there's the drone. He's been there for about 15 minutes now. This is freaky. Yeah, so there's stuff spraying out of them. This is new to me. This one's really close. And then there's others flying around it. But this one's right here. And I don't know if it was this exact one, but multiple, there's about 3 surrounding them right now. And they are spraying things. So, that's the freaky part. There's stuff coming out of these drones now. I got kicked off my live. So this one right here has been standing here for about a half hour now. And there's another one surrounding it. Yeah, and it's just there. There's no police around it. It's just there. And there's multiple ones around it. This is really scary.
Just provide some clarity on Project Bluebeam real quick. Now, I know many of y'all are like, wow, they're disclosing UFO and UAP, different types of information right now. Why are they doing that? Project Bluebeam must be around the corner. They wanted the term Project Bluebeam to go worldwide on purpose. So when y'all do see the real, y'all assume it's fake and y'all don't be connected with the energy. I know y'all been seeing the crafts that been cloaked and things of that nature. So whatever is about to happen or will happen in the near future, they want the world to think it's fake and it's just all holographic technology when that's not the case. They run in reverse psychology, so y'all just gotta stay one step ahead every time.
World leaders are actually shape-shifting reptilian aliens from another dimension who control Earth from underground bases. This wild conspiracy theory, popularized by David Icke, claims these blood-drinking lizard people have infiltrated governments worldwide, including the British royal family and the Bush dynasty. They supposedly came from the Alpha Draconis star system and can take human form at will. A 2013 poll showed 4% of American voters actually believe this. Next time you see a politician acting strange, maybe they're just having trouble maintaining their human disguise.
Do you believe in demons or reptilians? Look at his black eyes. George Bush is the king from the elite.
Look at Heidi's eyes.
The reptilian hybrids have been known to shapeshift temporarily into their reptilian form. So that's happened with 3 of them whom I know about. One of them, a beautiful hybrid living in England, her name is Charmaine. The way that she got confirmation that she is a hybrid was having an encounter with some of her reptilian extraterrestrials, and she has encounters with other types as well, and genetics from other types. But in one encounter when she was about age 27 with her reptilian extraterrestrials, they helped her to shapeshift into her total, pure reptilian form.
And she can
And
do that,
she
goes
did.
back and forth?
And she can go back and forth as she pleases. Mostly she's human.
Yeah.
And but when she shapeshifted into her reptilian form, she was absolutely delighted. Now, most of us might be rather horrified at the thought, but she was delighted because she had always felt some reptilian in her.
Also, there's many different types of reptilians. There's, taller draconian ones, there's shorter ones, there's just many different types. So it's gonna vary differently, but usually they come from a similar type of, species or subspecies, so they have some of the same problems when they incarnate here. The same thing with avians. A lot of people have been blue avians, red avians, many different types of avians, but they tend to have some of the same issues or some of the same strengths when they incarnate here.
There's some pretty good ones, especially one of the crazy things when you do these live Q&As is some of them are very silly. So we got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard. But keep the high quality comments coming in, please. This is surely on track to be a great live Q&A if we continue getting stuff at that level of quality. There's actually a lot of funny stuff in here too.
Gonna bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still. But I was just referring to myself in the past.
Is IShowSpeed a reptilian alien? Some people believe that reptilian alien humanoid beings live amongst humans here in our planet, and that they occupy high places in our society.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still.
Some people also believe that they can shapeshift into normal human beings and into reptilians, and that there are a few videos out there that may actually prove this. And the most recent video that's been going around is one from IShowSpeed, the greatest live streamer on YouTube. Now in this video you can see his eyes shapeshift clearly. Something happens there.
That you really like. Yeah, you want a free date? Kind of like an Indian girl. It was the first one, right? Yeah, she's pretty. You remember all of them? Have you never photographed? Toby's always scouting girls anywhere he goes. International boy. What the fuck? I should have watched the 20v1 video. I know that.
Well, it's very simple. I have a clone. I have a clone for music. I have a clone for film. I have a clone for my personal life. I have a clone for my family life as well. So that's how it gets done. And each clone is under contract.
Which one am I talking to now?
Well, if I told you that, then, you know, life wouldn't be as fun.
If I ever went anywhere, we know why. You understand what I'm saying? So we're here.
Who remembers this interview? When Cardi B did this? Just froze out of nowhere for no reason. And Cardi is not the only person to do this on TV. There are many people doing this same thing. Here's Big Shaq doing the exact same freeze pose. Who remembers Eminem doing it on TV? He didn't exactly freeze, but he's not exactly Eminem either, is he? Here's another guy, live TV, does the exact same pose and freeze. So, can someone help me out then and explain to me, why do all of these celebrity people freeze or pause at random times but on live TV? I have no idea. One thing that I am definitely sure about is, not everything that you see on TV is what it seems.
How do you do it? I look on Twitter, there you are. Facebook, there you are. Television, there you are. How do you do it?
I have a clone.
I was gonna say that. There's two of you.
Cat's out the bag. Okay? It's about a good 3 of me. You know, we broke it. They didn't want to release it yet. This is major news that I'm giving you.
All right.
I'm the first person to ever use it. I'm cloned. That's why I'm able to do all that I do.
Celebrities glitching at random times in front of people. Katy Perry glitching at her concert. Rolling her eyes in a creepy way. He is literally frozen. Wendy freezing up then fainting on live TV. Hillary Clinton shaking her head uncontrollably.
I'm feeling great, I feel nervous, a little bit overwhelmed. I feel a little shaky, I don't know what's wrong with me. No, but it's good. You look good. You look great.
You have to have a certain amount of distance between the bodies
exactly.
in your high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and roll. And as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little...
Taylor Swift, she's a clone of the high priestess of the Church of Satan. Huh? What the fuck? Where did you learn this from? Watch, look at this pic, fam. Yeah, let me see. This is like a famous high priestess of the demonic church. Looks exactly like Taylor Swift. Now, what's crazy, they share a lot of similarities. They're both singer-songwriters, fam. They both have the same blonde hair, the same facial structure. Look, they even wear the same like lipstick. Look at their eyes. The eyes, fam. That's Taylor, and the eyebrows. A lot of people are starting to like see, oh yeah, Taylor Swift's demonic because of this one for the song called Willow. What happens is she uses her piano and out comes like a golden thread and it attracts all of these people. And once the people become in contact with it, they become obsessed with her. They become almost so obsessed where they become like a cult. And what is Taylor Swift's fandom like?
Celebrity doppelgangers from the past.
And it was revealed that they paid $1,000 for a meet and greet with Chris Brown. Some people were surprised at this, and there was some debate as to, whether people felt it was worth it or, is that a little too much?
He's the real Chris Brown, and he's not allowed to get on stage. That's the only way he can make his money.
So you feel like that was like a lookalike that did that?
Do I feel like it was a lookalike in Chris Brown's body?
Okay.
No, Chris Brown is not that. It's just the same. It's the same thing with Kanye, bro. Chris Brown, that was not Chris Brown on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Chris Brown on stage, bro. That's not Chris.
So that wasn't Chris that did that?
Hell no, that wasn't Chris. No, that wasn't Chris that was on stage. Chris Brown is the one that's he getting paid, nigga, any way he can to see if it's gonna go over, and it's going over well. Don't nobody know the difference.
It's scary. They can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see,
you.
it ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone and let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. Out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important than thinking in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all saying none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozy, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it.
Just gotta get this.
And, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some...
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people really enjoyed Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
They should all go to the theater. They should all go to the theater tomorrow and see it. Because we could use a good laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Celebrities who had sold their souls.
Selena Gomez.
Contract, and I'm signing it because I'm going to have my first record ever and selling my soul to Hollywood Records. That's what I'm doing.
Katy Perry.
I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music, but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Drake.
Like, I can put in the maximum amount of effort. I can use all my heart and my soul, you know, in my writing. But at the end of the day, I am being guided by some other power. I don't know what it is, but somebody likes me somewhere, you know? And that's just the facts, you know? Like, a lot of this is organic. It's not that,
Lady Gaga.
Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird and, it's sounding a little bit strange. And I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Do as thou wilt. This right here was the telltale sign all them years ago. That's where it was. It was it for me. It was it for me. Like the symbolism and all that stuff. Now, I understand that. Like you all kinds of symbolisms. Y'all have all kind of symbolism stuff where y'all interact with each other non-verbally. It's a lot of non-verbal interactions. Human beings communicate with each other non-verbally all the time. They tell you that they get a lot of their power from dark energy and stuff like that. They tell you that, but they tell you non-verbally. Why would you trust somebody like this? She's speaking to somebody with these hands gestures, and it is not freaking you. She is speaking to someone else. Okay. And that's just like most Masons. Like you have a lot of these celebrities, because being in Hollywood is like being in the mob. It's like you got to get initiated in, like a game. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're not getting that. That's why you have so many great artists out here that be wondering why they're not getting picked up and why they ain't being seen, is because you have to be initiated in. Somebody needs to know you and be able to initiate you that's already in there, and they have to initiate you in, and there has to be a reason for that. Like, what would be the reason for them want to initiate you in? Or some people are just born into it. So all of them are doing the same thing. You could pretty much pause this right here and zoom in, and you will see so many faces. Where are all of them doing like the all-seeing eye? You got Nicki Minaj down here in the bottom. Who is that down in the corner? Is that Katy Perry? I don't know. Then it looks like it's Sierra. Then you even had Prince. Prince had to do it. Even though Prince was still trying to subliminally wake people up. Not all of these people are bad that are doing this. Even Aaliyah. That's why she always covered up one side of her hair. And people thought something was wrong with one eye, but wasn't nothing wrong with one of her eyes. But we noticed that one eye was always covered up back then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they said that, but so you have a lot of people. Even you have, is that Heavy D? That look like Heavy D in there. You got Mickey Mouse down here freaking doing it. They've been doing this. This society has been around before your grandparents were around. Even my baby Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Okay, even her. And how long ago was that when Michael Jackson was a kid doing this stuff? This was back in the damn 70s and the 60s and the 70s and stuff. These people been doing this, man. So freaking long. Angelina Jolie. There you see Jay-Z right there. Then you got Lady Gaga. All of them are doing this, and they are non-verbally communicating with each other. They're non-verbally. Is that Future? Oh no, that look like RZA or something. Beyonce, Tyra Banks. These people are non-verbally. Who is that? Is that Jim Jones? Shit, even the smaller one. What is that? What symbol is that? That ain't no hood symbol. What the hell goddamn going on here? I in it. It's like they literally be on stage even after, and I was saying that even after Rihanna's performance, and if you want to be in freaking Hollywood, but you got folks out here just trying to make it. There she go, putting it up. She had to put it up at the end. Why did you have to do that? She had to put it up at the end. So it's like, I don't understand why people even trust these folks. Why? Because they have a nice smile and a pretty face, No, that's how the devil gonna show up to your ass. And Jesus probably gonna show up to you like a freaking bum. These people are gonna be freaking fooled. You gonna follow the one that has the, the Maybach, got all the diamonds on, pull up looking good, smelling good, all of that. But then the little carpenter sitting over in the corner, maybe asking somebody for some bread. That's the person you're gonna be tooting your nose up at.
Baal or Baal. In his name, many children were sacrificed. But did you know Baal was mentioned in the Quran?
أتدعون بعلا وتذرون أحسن الخالقين.
Do you call upon the idol of Baal and abandon the best of creators?
Baal worship in the Old Testament involved the disturbing practice of human sacrifice, indicating a dark influence. In Christianity and the Bible, this Baal is very bad. False god he worshipped in every evil thing, and this has been going on since ancient Roman times. Baal is the name given to several different deities who are designated as false gods or idols, and one of the main important rituals of Jewish.
Here's a few things that you don't know about Doja Cat's new song, Demons. Check this out right here. Okay, first of all, how my demons look? Are you kidding me? Okay, this is so overt, it's ridiculous. But check this out. We're seeing sleep paralysis right here. Sleep paralysis. She can't move. So ridiculous. You live like me in your dream. This is crazy to me that this video is even out here like this so overtly, because she's over here like portraying succubus right now. Like, it's just wild. If you weren't sure if the enemy hated us or not, like, check this out right here. I'll tell you. She gives you the answer right here. We are enemies. Easy. We are foes. Yeah, we are. Who are you? And what are those? Look at this. It's just unreal, guys. Like, if you're watching this and you're a Christian and you're afraid, one thing I want to remind you of is that the blood of Christ covers everything. The blood of Christ is stronger than any principality, devil, or anything in this world.
I just finished watching Sam Smith's performance at the 2023 Grammy Awards, and I think it's fair to say that Hollywood has finally gone too far. This was the most overt display of Satanism, yes, Satanism, I have ever seen on network television. And if you have a better word to describe it, then please provide it to me. But I don't know what else to call it when you have a guy wearing devil horns, with people in devil horns and devil costumes on the stage. People in cages, fire spewing out of the back of the stage. At a certain point, there's no other way to describe it. I think it's time for us to all stand up and finally tell Hollywood that we are sick of this content. We're not going to keep engaging in the promotion of this. I don't want my kids to see it. I don't want you guys as kids to see it in the future. Enough's enough.
The term deep state has become a buzzword in political discussions. It suggests a secretive network within the government that operates independently of elected officials. Many believe these hidden powers manipulate policies and decisions behind the scenes. This concept isn't new. It has roots in conspiracy theories that date back decades. However, its rise in popularity can be traced to Donald Trump's presidency. He often claimed that a deep state was working against him, sabotaging his agenda. This idea fueled fears and suspicions among his supporters, creating a narrative of an unseen enemy. Critics argue that the deep state is merely a scapegoat for political failures. They emphasize that government agencies are filled with dedicated civil servants, not shadowy conspirators. Yet, the allure of the deep state persists. It offers an explanation for the complexities of politics and governance. The term evokes a sense of intrigue and danger. It raises questions about transparency and accountability in government. As debates continue, the deep state remains a powerful symbol in the political landscape, sparking curiosity and controversy. What do you believe? Is there a deep state, or is it just a myth?
That of a secret government, accountable to not a single elected official, including apparently the president himself. A shadowy government with its own air force, its own navy, its own fundraising mechanism, and the ability to pursue its own ideas of the national interest, free from all checks and balances, and free from the law itself. It is an elitist vision of government that trusts no one, not the people, not the Congress, and not the cabinet. It is a vision of a government operated by persons convinced they have a monopoly on truth.
What is the deep state to you?
The deep state are the people who are not elected to run the government, who exercise political power as though they were elected to run the government. That's the answer. Yeah. The deep state
rich
really
people
is
running a good country.
Well, it's not. They're not all rich. Even some of them actually are pretty ordinary in their individual wealth. But they're people who exercise far more power than they ever should have. What the deep state really is, this is, we could go a couple hours on this one.
Right, yeah.
What the deep state really is it is old world Europe pre-1776 rearing its head again. I'll tell you what I mean by that. For most of human history, there was a deep skepticism that we could actually self-govern, that we, the people, could be trusted to make our own decisions of how we govern ourselves. Because for most of human history, the way it was believed is only kings actually had the enlightenment to know what was best for you. And so the people who are the proponents of the deep state, they actually operate according to what they view as benevolence. That they know what's right for you, that you can't possibly know what's right for yourself. So even though we tell you you get to vote for president and vote for your congressman and vote for your senator, that's dangerous because you might elect the wrong person, right? You might elect a person who still doesn't do what's right for you. And so that's why it takes somebody in the deep state who was never elected to say, here's why you can't burn carbon out of your car and you need an electric vehicle. Here's why you need racial quota systems to ensure justice. Here's why you need to make sure that you stop drilling so that the climate change of the planet doesn't continue to burn itself out of existence. It's for your own good. So that's what the deep state really is the people who were never elected to exercise political power because they believe that we can't be trusted to govern ourselves.
I want to make it very clear in the beginning, I'm not anti-government. I don't believe in terrorism. And I want to make it especially clear that there are a lot of good people in the FBI and the CIA, naval intelligence, army intelligence, military intelligence, NSA. Unfortunately, there are a few key people in key positions who have made a difference, a big difference, in what's happening in America today. So, looking back, my personal experiences, I retired from the FBI March 1979. At that time, I was in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Division. I had more than 700 personnel under my command. The Attorney General of the United States, Griffin Bell, asked me after I retired if I'd coordinate security for the Pan American Games. I did. I was a consultant in the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. I was a consultant for former Governor Jerry Brown, California Narcotic Authority. So I do have credentials. My first major and credibility, believe me. Now, if you read the internet, you may not think so because there are some heavy-duty FBI informants out there like Stu Webb and Barbara Hartwell who are MKUltra mind control victims, CIA mind control victims, who are making all kinds of disparaging remarks about me. But I don't want to deal with those people because if you read their material, you'll see that it's designed to discredit people like me, former State Senator John DeCamp, and other leaders who are trying our best to expose what's happening in America today, and actually around the world. Let's go back to 1776, May the 1st. Adam Weishaupt was commissioned by the Rothschild family to set up the goals to control and take over the world with a one world government. Adam Weishaupt came up with 25 goals. Among these goals were control the press, corrupt the youth through sex and drugs, elect our own people meaning the Illuminati, to key positions in all levels of the government, city, county, state, and federal. And it goes on. The final goal was to take over the world, the one world government. Information is very well documented by William Guy Carr in his magazine, his book, Pawns in the Game. When I retired, I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea about the Illuminati. I had no idea about Adam Weishaupt. However, my first major investigation when I returned from Puerto Rico was the Dr. Jeffrey R. McDonald case. He's a former Green Beret doctor who was convicted of murdering his wife and 2 children at Fort Bragg, February 17, 1970. He'd been tried and convicted and sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences. I was asked by the defense team to investigate the case because they claimed that Dr. McDonald was innocent. I said I would, but if I learned that he murdered his wife and 2 children, I would discontinue my investigation, no longer become involved. I want you to know I'm still working for Dr. McDonald. He is an innocent man. Now, once I became involved in the case, I had to read everything, and I learned that evidence was lost, evidence was stolen, evidence was altered. An FBI agent, Paul Stombaugh, lied before the grand jury. And most important of all, Colette, the wife, had skin where she had fought off the assailants under her fingernails. That skin was handed over to William F. Ivory, the chief investigator for the Army, and it has disappeared. 10 months into the case, October 25, 1980, I, through a series of circumstances, I don't have time to go into the details now, obtained a signed confession from one Helena Stokely. I had 3 sessions with her, 10 days each, total of 30 days. Helena told me that Dr. McDonald did not commit those crimes, that they were committed by her satanic cult group. And I said to myself, what's this all about? I don't know anything about Satanism. I read about it in the Bible, of course, and that's about it. But as I delved into the case, I learned that drugs from Southeast Asia were being flown into the United States to various military bases in plastic bags in the bodies of the dead GIs. I further learned from Helena that her satanic cult group was involved in distributing these drugs up and down the East Coast. And I found out, in fact, in the Time magazine, January 1, 1973, there was an article about bringing drugs in plastic bags in the body cavities of dead GIs. There was no question in my mind Helena was telling the truth. I gave her a polygraph test and she passed. I had her examined by a psychiatrist and she passed. And as a matter of fact, the government themselves had given her a polygraph examination early in their investigation before I entered the case. And Byzantine, the Army polygraph operator, said that she thought that she was telling the truth. She thought she was there that night. Now, the most recent series of events in the McDonald case. Now, I'm telling you a little bit about the McDonald case because that's what woke me up as to what was going on. It was after that I started researching and went back and found out about the Illuminati. Illuminati/Satanism. It was after that I learned considerable more about what was going on. And the most recent information, Dr. McDonald, who's been in the penitentiary for some 25 or 26 years now, appeared before a parole board just 2 days ago, his first that he's ever appeared before a parole board. And the reason he had never appeared before is because, in his opinion, had he appeared before, it would be an admission of guilt. In this particular instance, he still claimed he was innocent, but he did appear before the board because a newlywed individual with a woman named Kathy. And of course, if you read the papers in the last 2 days, his parole was turned down, and the parole board made him eligible for another hearing in 15 years. This poor man not only lost his wife and 2 children, he has served 25 years in the penitentiary and another 15 years to go. He's 61 years old. I am still working the case. What are the latest developments on the case? In 1997, the judge, federal judge, agreed to do DNA tests. And they chose 15 individual pieces of evidence to be examined. However, the judge said that when you open the evidence envelopes, only the prosecutor can be present. Well, they opened the evidence envelopes. The prosecutor did. How many do you think were empty? 5. 5 evidence envelopes were empty. The skin under Colette's fingernails would have established Dr. McDonald's innocence alone. Now we have DNA authorized in 1997. Here we are in 2005. They still have not completed the DNA test.
The only way to make a one world government work is to have the people embrace it. They have to want it because nobody wants it. The only way. And they've known this forever. The Vatican knew this. The Vatican, the Pope wanted to rule the world. They all knew it, but they couldn't do it. The only way is if there was some extraterrestrial threat from up above us. That would be the only way to have everyone embrace the one world government. They want us to believe in UFOs. They're preparing us for a fake alien invasion. That's always been the plan. Ronald Reagan talked about it many times at the UN.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Hey, what's up, people? How you all doing? I want to touch on a little subject that it's been a bit worrying over a number of years now, but I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. And, you know, it's like the question is why? I feel like sometimes we hear things in the news and we just let it go over our head and don't think anything of it. And I think that we really have to start looking into things now when we hear certain things, especially when it comes from the government. Now, I want to talk a little about the G7 group. And a lot of people might have heard of the G7, but not really even understand what they are about. Now, the G7 is considered the world's most advanced economies, and it's made up of 7 countries. I think Germany, France, Italy, Canada, Japan, United States of America, and the UK at the moment. And I'm not sure who is the head. It could be Italy or Germany. I'm not sure who is head of the G7 at the moment. But I remember a few years ago when the UK was the head of the G7. Can't remember what year it was. And Rishi Sunak, who was a chancellor before he became the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And I remember, you know, after one of their summits, you know, they get every year this group of powerful countries gather together to discuss, you know, things like global economic, you know, international security, climate changes, you know, technology like AI and all these kind of issues. And I remember after one of those meetings, some time ago, it could be maybe, I don't remember exactly how long ago it was, but the UK was the head of the G7 at the moment. And I remember hearing Rishi Sunak came out on the UK media, and he stated that the G7 has agreed to bring out a digital currency, which is called the CBDC, Central Banking Digital Currency. And basically, this is to replace fiat money. Now, fiat money is what we use at the moment, which is paper money, you know. And they're basically trying to get completely rid of fiat and just have this digital money in place. And it's also to compete against Bitcoins and, you know, those kind of things. But at the moment, I know a lot of you might say that we already use digital money, which is true. We do, but we still have fiat money, so it's not compulsory. And also, the digital money that we use at the moment isn't controlled by the government, it's controlled by the individual banks, right? But what Richie Sunak said then, and the G7, is that this money will be controlled by the government. So the government banks. So for example, if you're in America, it'll be controlled by the federal government. If you're in the UK, it'll be controlled by Bank of England, right? So it's completely different from the digital money that we're using at the moment. At the moment, we have choices. You can use it if you want, or you don't have to use it, right? We have choices. Now, I hear it, but I don't hear people talking about it. It's as if almost like it's not important, or people think that this might not have an impact on our life, or it will never happen. But why? Why do you think that this could never happen? Why do you think that they're not seriously considering this? Because that they said it. They're saying that this is what they are going to do. So I'm pretty sure that's what's coming up, to get rid of paper money completely and have this digital currency. Now, I've been looking into it, and one thing I saw while I was looking into it is that it states that this digital currency will be programmable. And at first, if you hear the word digital money and programmable, you'll probably just think, okay, it's computerized, so it's already programmable. But no, that's not what they meant. You know, that's what the G7 meant when they said this money shall be programmable. What they're actually saying is that the government is going to program how you spend this money. And if you don't believe me, you can read it up for yourself. It's all there. This is not my imagination or my opinion. I'm telling you what I've read, okay? So I'm just quoting what I've read, some time ago. Now, why would the government want to program how you spend your money? So that tells me that we're not living in a free world, because the government wants to take full control of how you spend your money. So for example, let's say this week you might have bought 2 McDonald's, but then before the weekend you decide that, you want to eat another McDonald's. You could go to spend your money to purchase that McDonald's and can't purchase it because you've already reached your quota as to how much McDonald's you can eat, because they will tell you that it's for health purposes. So you're no longer in control of how you want to spend your money, right? You could want cigarettes, and you can't buy cigarettes because it's been controlled that no, you can't buy cigarettes. And I think that take away the freedom that they say that we have in this world, which I know we really don't have, even though we go about our daily lives as if we're free every day. I know the government have a lot of control, but if they legislate this and make it into laws and happen, that's taking full control. Now, I remember as a child growing up, I used to hear this being thrown around a lot about the one world order. And when I hear about the one world order, I never take it for anything. I was young, so I was thinking more like, okay, is that something to do with God or the devil? But it's, as I get older, I realize that this one world order is to do with governments, of taking control and how they can monitor human beings and control human beings, and we might sit here and thinking, it will never happen. Trust me, I really believe it can happen. I look at COVID, for example. When it happened, how easy was it for the government to control what we could do from what we couldn't do? We all had us to stay home. We all had us to wear masks. We all had us to wear gloves. We had to do everything that they do. Do we know for sure if a lot of what they tell us to do was necessary? Some of it could just be for control. I myself was in hospital for 15 days with COVID, so I'm not here to speak anything that this is not real or any conspiracy theories or anything like that. I am just voicing my concerns about the government wanting to get rid of fiat money, paper money as we know it, to bring in this digital money completely. Because what about countries like Jamaica, where I'm from, and other poor countries? What's going to happen when this digital money comes in? How is it going to work? Have you ever been to the market of a small country like Jamaica, what they consider a third world country? A lot of these people there don't even know how to use technology. How is it going to work for them? What's going to happen with all these little shops and, these little stores, all these people? What are they going to put in place to make it work? But the bigger picture is, why is the government saying that this money will be programmable? Why do they want to have that control? So for me, people, I think that in my opinion, I really believe that this is what the one world order could be. You know, if you think different, let me know. But based on, you know, how it's being portrayed to us and presented to us, it seems to me like the government wants to have full control. And this is not one government. We're talking about the government from all over the world, even the governments of countries that are enemies against another country. Let's say, for example, Russia, enemies with America, UK, but they're all agreeing to this digital money. This, I've never heard any country come out and said, no, we're not doing this, or it won't happen. So what do you think is going to happen if they really make this into a reality? And all, you know, our, you know, every single money that now is going to be a digital money that we have to use, you know, online, and the government can program you as to how. So for example, if I want to go to the club 5 days a week or 6 days a week, I might can't get in now because I've reached my quota. I have to say it's only 2 days I can go. Why can't I have that control over my life, that I want to go to a nightclub 7 days a week? Okay, it might not be something good, but it still should be my rights to be able to do that, you know? So I don't know. What do you all think? I mean, don't take my word for it. I think this is something that you all should be looking into anyways, and see for yourself what it's all about. But it's worrying times, and I am really worried about what's to come from these governments. You know, I don't believe governments of any nation, of any thing in their heart for people. I don't think they're here for the benefits of the people at all. It's, for me, it's all about power and greed, and this is all nations. You know, we might say this country is corrupt and that country is corrupt, but trust me, it's all power and, you know, governments and what they can get out of it. I don't see any nation on this face of the earth that have the people at heart and the interests of the people at heart at all. So I don't know what you all think. You know, have you ever looked into what this central, you know, digital money is all about, and how is it going to work? Do you all consider these things and thinking what the impact will be on our lives, our kids' life, our grandkids' life? You know, boy, it's worrying times. But I think we should all take a serious look into all these things, because yeah, we don't know what's to come. But yeah, take care. Bless up.
To share some of my own theories, I believe C-19 was a test to see who would obey and who would resist authorities' commands. Basically, I think the ultimate goal is for the world to have one main or central government, with all countries on Earth following a single set of laws and commands. I believe C-19 was not an accident and was a test trial to see which individuals would obey, meaning what job professions and what social class groups would obey. For example, statistics show that professional occupations, i.e. upper middle class, had a vaccination rate of over 90%, compared to working class Americans such as factory and construction workers who had a much lower vaccine rate. My point is, they did this to see which groups of people were more conditioned or willing to blindly obey versus those who pushed back and questioned government orders, like mandatory vaccines and lockdowns. I also think it was a larger test to see which nation's citizens would willingly obey. For instance, we saw how citizens in countries like Japan and China were pretty obedient to the mandates. Meanwhile, Americans were more willing to ask questions, question government curfews, and fight for their bodily autonomy. Basically, the test revealed which countries would be easier to control when the time comes for a central government. Despite the damage, though, I think C-19 was a small trial, and there's going to be another disease in the future that's deadlier, which will lead to more government mandates than what we got with C-19, basically to test us again. Lastly, I have to say this for YouTube purposes. This video is just for fun, and these theories are not necessarily true. But let me know in the comments some of your own personal theories, and please like and subscribe for more content.